Hola, what's new? What's going on? What's happening? Still don't have anything to say for my opening for Monday, so hello, hello, hello. We'll just start with that. Make sure everything's set up. I feel like I'm frozen. Hey, Crystal, how you doing? What are you up to? What you working on? What you sipping on? How's your week been since I talked to you last? Since I wasn't here on Monday, or not Monday, Wednesday. Hey, Catherine. Yeah, you made it. How's it even possible? Well, I don't know. Maybe YouTube sent out my notification on time for once. It happens every once in a while. I'm going to blame YouTube and not you because that just seems more fitting. So yeah, I still don't know. Have no idea how many people are in here because Streamyard is telling me zero. But obviously there are two people here because I'm talking to you. So I'm just going to sit here and wait a few more minutes before we get started because we got lots to talk about. Catherine, you're crocheting a large raggedy and I've watched you and your progress with that. And you're drinking of all things ice water. Not a fan of ice water. I love ice water. I like ice. So that's a throwback to my customer service days. We would have like long stretches of having to sit and take phone calls. So you couldn't get up every 5 seconds and go get something to drink. Nor could you have to get up every half hour or so to go to the bathroom because you've been drinking so much water. Because when you talk that long, your throat gets dry and you have to drink something. So instead of getting drinks, we would get like large cups of ice. And so you would suck on some ice in between calls. And that has stuck with me ever since. And I still like ice. Ice is like, it's almost like a snack to me now. You love ice water, but you usually drink Diet Coke. So why no Coke today? Why are you suddenly on an ice water spree? I am drinking seltzer water. I love seltzer water. It's water and it's fizzy. Two of my favorite things. I've given up most soda. I think if I have like two sodas a month, it's a shocker. But I still like the fizzy, so seltzer water. And sometimes I'll throw some like fruit in it or like fruit flavoring of some sort. So I get fruit flavored water because I don't buy the ones that are pre-made because they've got the artificial sweeteners in them, and those are bad for me at so many levels. So I make my own. So let's see. Hi, Alice. Crafty Chats. Catherine, you had Diet Coke at Sonic today. Oh man, I miss Sonic. When we lived in Ohio, we went to Sonic quite a bit, but when we moved back here to West Virginia, the closest Sonic is like an hour from here. I miss being able to go there whenever I want. Crystal, you had no volume for a moment. Thought you were losing. I don't know. Is it fixed now? Alice, not a fan of seltzer water, are you? I love seltzer water, as I've already said. I could never get the fizzy water taste. I hated it. I like it. It's like a combination of two of my favorite things: water and fizzy. Like I said, every once in a while I'll add some flavoring if I just want to change it up a little bit. But for the most part, um, I can just drink the seltzer water. Okay, Chris, I'm glad it's fixed. Alice, wait, they turned the game Sonic. Well, I'm pretty sure the Sonic restaurant predates the Hedgehog. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. But I did order a large cherry cream slush. Oh, I hate you. Oh, I always got either a cherry or a lime. Those are my favorites. And $25 for two who'd eat lunch, that's about right. Sonic is delicious, but it ain't cheap. To each their own. With flavor, not so bad, but on its own, yuck. A lot of people don't like water at all, so, I get it. Crystal saying with what would quench my thirst, but having it Ellers, Dauntless, and possibly Pots, I drink Diet Coke since they have salt and potassium. Gotcha. I'll take your word for it. Okay, Alice. Chris, I knew what you meant. So how's everybody doing tonight? We working on anything new? I am working on things new, but I'm not showing them to you tonight. I'm going to wait for my regular live on Wednesday to show you the stuff. But I will say that I'm rather excited about the stuff that I'm working on, which is a complete total turnaround of the last time I was talking about stuff I was working on. Things turn on a dime. You have that, I guess. You love water on its own. You just forget it exists. How do you forget water exists, Alice? We're mostly made of water. And you started a new granny square blanket. Well, cool. Are you doing regular granny squares, like the triple stitch? Doing flowers? What kind of granny squares are you doing? And what colors? Or is it single color, different color, variegated? Give me the deets. Let's see, Crystal saying much better. Just out of the tub, feel like a human and not a dust mat. We'll be finishing my blanket this week, thank God. I know that dust mat feeling all too well. You know, people with chronic illnesses. I think most people with chronic illnesses understand completely that dust mat feeling. And what's your blanket? What stitch or what pattern are you doing? Alice saying that's the ADHD brain for you. Heck, if it wasn't for my sense of humor, I would forget that a lot of stuff exists. I can't argue with that. I forget a lot of things exist most of the time. Or somebody will ask me something and I'll know the answer and have no idea why I know the answer, and have no recollection of learning what I know. It's kind of weird. Alice, you're working on a basic granny blanket. Cool. And well, Alice, is yours different granny squares or is it one big granny square or rectangle? And Crystal's saying it is the deluxe baby blanket. My chat just jumped. It is the deluxe baby blanket on Hobie's website. Okay. Alice, is knowing and remembering the same thing? Well, you kind of have to know it before you can remember it. So, yes and no. ADHD is a wild ride for sure. I think I'm on that ride. I have never been tested and officially diagnosed, but I've had several. Well, I'm surrounded by friends that are therapists, and the friends that aren't therapists are teachers, and the friends that aren't therapists and teachers are artists, and some are all three. And they've all looked at me and said, "You need to get tested for ADHD." And I've been like, "Yeah, I'll get around to it," and I have yet to ever get around to it. I should though. Alex, you haven't decided whether it's going to be one big square or lots of little ones. My last granny square was a rectangle, and it was so cool when I learned that rectangle granny stitch because I'm not really a fan of square blankets. So when I realized that you could actually do a granny square into a rectangle, that kind of like made my life. So on my list of things to make is a granny rectangle blanket. I just haven't gotten around to it. It's kind of low on the list. It's behind several other things I have to do first. But for now, you're going with one big one. Cool. Oh, that's fun. They would be worried about me. Yeah, but you already know you have it. So, there'd be nothing for them to say to you. To me, they're looking at me going, "Would you please go get an official diagnosis so you can get some meds?" Because, wow, this is what they tell me. Including my daughter, who is a social worker. She's like, "There's something wrong with you, Mom." You're not right in the head, Mom. Okay, thanks for telling me. Let's see. Alice, I love the Grammy rectangle, but I have a few of those on the go and wanted a square for my bed. Okay, makes sense. Crystal said I was diagnosed at 8 years old in 1990 as a girl. Oh my god, you just made me feel so old. I was on the Richter scales, but I suspect autism as well. For me, I scored highly on the RAD test and would explain a lot. I was saying, well, no is a strong word. Suspect and highly relate, no diagnosis. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, they all suggested they've all strongly suggested I get tested. That's all I know. Um, but do our kids always think we are nuts? Yeah, but you gotta think my daughter is a social worker with a degree in psych, so well, social worker psychology. So she's saying it not just as daughter talking to mom, but as like trained professional talking to a woman who she says has issues. For lack of a better way of describing it. But yes, she thinks I'm nuts just naturally too. So yeah, 6 of one and half dozen the other. And again, but again, like she's not the only person telling me that. So I don't know. Anyway, okay. So the topic for the evening: to share or not to share. Sorry, I was reading chat, and if I look down, it's because I'm looking at my notes. Because yes, I actually took notes for this one. Um, so I believe it was Crystal who brought this up at the end of last Management Monday Live, asking if we should share our political opinions with our customers. And I remember cackling because I've had a lot of experience with this, both good and bad, and I have a lot of opinions on it. So I figure this would make a great topic for Management Monday Live. Given the conversation we just had about ADHD, I think the answer is to share. Okay. So I'm gonna ask this question because I'm pretty sure we probably have some lurkers. But if you had a business and you had some strong beliefs, would you share those beliefs with your customers on your social media pages? It could be a yes or no. Alice is already in front of me. For political opinions, it's a hard yes. Okay, so I don't know about y'all, but I grew up, with the saying like you never It's impolite to talk about politics and religion in mixed company. And by mixed company, I guess they mean people who are acquaintances, co-workers, customers, what have you. So, Crystal, your answer is probably. It was a yes or no. It was a yes or no question. Being difficult already? Really? This is your topic. You came up with this idea, and now you're going to be wishy-washy on me? Yes or no? Okay, so Alice is saying political opinions is a yes. Catherine is saying no. Alice is saying hard yes for me, but then I'm a liberal Irish millennial, so there's your answer. Okay, Crystal is saying yes. I say, okay, I'm going to break this down in two different categories. For me personally, it's a yes. However, I could also go with the answer of it depends, which I know, Crystal, I just slammed you for giving a middle of the road answer, and I just turned around and did it too. But I have a point. There's a method to my madness here. Um, yes, it's okay. So old school thinking is you don't mix business and personal information onto your social media. You just don't. You should keep your business pages um, strictly business, no personal opinions, political, religion, or otherwise. But see, social media is one of those things that it's this isn't like just taking out an ad in Yellow Pages or having an ad in a newspaper. Social media is fluid. It's not static. People who visit your business pages, they want to know about your business, but they are also just extremely curious about the people that are running the businesses as well. So people have found that they actually do have to share a bit of themselves or some behind the scenes things with their business to engage their customers more. And that's where the problem of how much to share, how much not to share has come into play. Because let's say you're a business and involved in your community and you support an organization that may lean one way or the other. Well, by supporting that business, if it leans left, then you run the risk of alienating somebody on the right. If it leans right, then you run the risk of alienating somebody on the left. So I am of the opinion that, go ahead and share beliefs to a certain extent so that everybody knows what page you're on. You know, because let's be honest, if you are a die-hard liberal progressive, you may or may not want to engage with the MAGA crowd. You may or may not. You may not have any tolerance for it whatsoever. I have friends that are very to the left and want nothing to do with MAGA supporters. Nothing. Zip. Zero. Zilch. Won't be friends with them. Won't do business with them. Will barely have a civil conversation with them. I think that's a little extreme, but I get it. I also have friends that are very conservative. And they have a problem with people who are extremely liberal. And both those camps are actually grateful when they find out that somebody that they plan on doing business with, what side they're on. If they're on the same side as them, then they're all for doing business with them. If they're on the opposite, then they 9 out of 10 don't want to do business with them. So, although yes, sharing your personal opinions can alienate customers, it can also weed out people that you might not have a positive working experience with anyway. So, let me see what you guys are saying. Yeah, it was a double standard. I know, but I needed to do it to make a point. Doesn't it depend on the customer base you want to build? I'm getting to that in a second. Die hard liberal progressive. Gee, I'm so shocked. Crystal saying people like to support people who have like views and support those who give to charities they support. Yeah, exactly. But sometimes you out yourself without realizing you're outing yourself. Um, I consider myself a moderate that leans left most of the time, but I have my moments of like conservatism, so to speak. Not a whole lot of them, just like little sparks here and there. But um, I gave a contribution to a local politician, and they thanked me, and they thanked me publicly. And I had that come back from I got messages from people like, I can't believe you're supporting that candidate. Therefore, this, and this, yada yada yada. Do you agree with those policies? So I could have done one of two things. I could have lied about it, or I could have said the truth. So you guys know me well enough. You know what I told them. I'm like, yeah, I'm supporting them because I support most of the things that they stand for. You know, so sue me. And they're like, well, I'm not quite sure I want to do business with you. And I was like, okay. Because my views are my views. My opinions are my opinions. My beliefs are my beliefs. And my morals are my morals. And just because you don't agree with them doesn't mean I'm going to magically change them because I could get some money out of you. That's just not me. Will I do business with MAGA supporters? If they don't come at me crazy, sure. You know, but come at me crazy, spew some craziness, and yeah, I'm gonna say, nah, I'm good, thanks. You can go shop someplace else. But to be fair, there's also people on the far left that I'm looking at them going, you need to slow your roll. You're sounding a little crazy. Not sure I want to support you either. So I'm pretty vocal about how I feel about things. Like I said, I'm pretty much a moderate, so I'm kind of middle of the road, but I do lean a little bit left. But, I don't, I came to the conclusion long ago that not sharing that was harder to deal with than sharing it. And here's another example. Story time. And some of you know part of this story, but I don't think I've ever told the other part. I made okay, so I made a pattern called the Love Shrug. Okay. It's on Etsy if you want to look at it, buy it, what have you. But I made the pattern out of cotton thread. Well, it's rainbow cotton yarn. It's like that 4-strand thread that you can get from Hobie. No, yeah, from Hobie. I made it in rainbow colors. It turned out gorgeous. Now, originally, it was supposed to be a commission for a woman, but I found out through mutual friends that she had been posting my progress pictures on her page and passing it off as her own. Now, generally, I don't care. I've ghost made things for people before, but I need you to tell me up front because I also share those photos like of progress pictures, and I don't want somebody coming to me going, "Why are you copying somebody else's stuff? Why are you passing off somebody's work as your own?" So I called her on it, and when I called her on it, she called off the sale and blocked me on all social media. So I had to find another buyer. So I started advertising for a buyer. I think I advertised for it for like 2 days. And the amount of vitriol I received because of that shawl, people calling me, like, I'm not going to repeat some of the things people said. Let's just say the homophobes came out to play. Okay, I'll just put it that way. It finally found a really nice home with a very happy person. So this has a happy ending. But just because I made that shawl, people automatically assumed that I was either part of the LGBTQ community or I was an ally, which I am. Don't get me wrong, but I do commission work, and I've done commission work for a lot of things. I've made things in Steeler colors, and I actually positively hate the Steelers. You know, I've made items out of colors that I would absolutely positively never wear myself. But it wasn't for me, it was for other people. But because of the thing I made, people automatically assumed that I aligned myself with the things I was making. So, I ended up having to quote unquote out myself as an LGBTQ ally, which is ridiculous, but I'm not even going to go there anymore. Because I made a commissioned item for somebody else. So sometimes, even when you're not trying to share your opinions or your views, you end up having to, because you end up having to defend yourself. Okay, what are you saying? La 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 la. You guys got chatting on me. Double standards, I heard a little aggressive. I would out myself because I can't shut up. Catherine saying I'm the same, Kim, moderate to left, but sometimes I lean right. Yeah, that's me. Right? If nothing else, they should be grateful that you're honest. I agree. That's the one thing I always wanted that I find the most important. I'm authentic. I don't ever want to come off as not looking that way. I'm not going to pretend to be someone I'm not. Matter of fact, I don't think I'm capable of it because I've got resting bitch face in general, but then factor in that everything I'm thinking goes across my face. Happy, sad, mad, doesn't matter. And it can cause some issues. I've had bosses that have said things that I didn't like, and I would deliberately just look at the table until the expression I knew on my face passed, and then I'd look back up. Well, my boss has caught on that was me just trying not to show my opinion on my face, and then they would ask me how I felt about things. Now, as far as I'm concerned, that's bait. You're just baiting somebody into a fight. And I'm also the kind of person that if you're going to, I'm going to try not to engage. But if you're going to keep hounding me about it, eventually I'm going to engage. And you're probably not going to like what I say. It's probably going to end badly. But here's the thing. Every time a boss has done that and it's ended badly, I've won in the end. So, again, being honest, being authentic, it pays off. The last boss that tried that, I ended up with 4 weeks severance. No, wait. No. 4 weeks vacation pay, my current paycheck, my next two paychecks, a severance package that was worth, I want to say 1.5 months of my salary, and I collected unemployment. Did I mention I hated the job? So, it really wasn't any skin off my nose. So, again, it pays off. I had an entire summer off. We went on vacation. We did all kinds of stuff. It was great. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. Let me get back to the comments. But I've been throwing the crazy at you since day one. Yeah, well, crazy knows crazy. Game knows game. I had no hope of staying in the closet. Some things I can sit down and shut up about. I am big on civil rights, not sorry. Be ready to get a bloody nose either way. People can be such, yeah, that's not resting bitch face. That's shut up, I'm counting face. Ah. Hi, Michael Films. Welcome, welcome. And hi, Chris. So, what was I talking about before I went off on that tangent about my dumbass boss? Sorry, this conversation gets me heated, so I kind of if the 4 letter word slip, sorry. I don't think anybody in here really minds a whole lot. Most of you have heard me say worse. Michael Films, yes, this is live, and thank you. It's a mess right now. Okay, so my advice is if you want to attract a certain audience or a certain client group and detract others, then share your opinion. Yeah, you are going there. There are going to be people that are not going to like your opinion. They're not going to like how you feel about things, political, religious, what have you. But if it's important to you to work with like-minded people, share. You know what? Let people know how you feel about things. It's quite all right. I'm not gonna get into the logistics and the legalities of refusing to work with people for certain reasons because that can get kind of testy and weird. So that's actually all the more reason to let people know how you feel about things. Because if a person that you don't want to work with knows how you feel about that, unless they're really trying to goad you, they're still gonna go on to find somebody else that they'd rather work with. You are gonna find those people that are gonna goad you, but you know what? Let them. Emails get lost. You know, messages don't appear. That's one of the cool things about what we do, especially if you're an online person. It's easier to avoid working with people when you're online than when you have a brick and mortar store. So yeah, if you only want to work with certain kind of people, then those are the people you want to attract, and then you to attract them, just be vocal and let them know you're out there and they're the people you're seeking. They're your people. They're your tribe. There's nothing wrong with wanting to find your tribe. Nothing at all. Let's see, what else are we talking about here? How I've said worse. Yeah, I know. You're with the wrong friends if you think swearing can offend us. I said that, but I was pretty sure none of y'all cared. I classroom tips with Linda. Do I attend mass? No, I'm not Catholic. Or are you talking to Alice? She answered that. As a mom to 2 children who are members of the LGBTQIA, I am not going to act ashamed of supporting the community. Cool. I None of my immediate family members are part of the community, but I have a lot of friends that are. Well, and I shouldn't say none of my family because a lot of my friends are family, and quite a few of them are part of the community. So, and I will defend them to the end of time because it's ridiculous. But uh, I can rant on that too. Okay, let me see. Mass studies is a cultural movement to engage with new language tutoring. Hmm. I don't know a whole lot about that. I do follow is it Sunny M Show, I believe is his name. Wialcha guy. I know he does a lot of African American linguistics uh, um, tips and history on his channel. So, but yeah. I want to see if there's anything else I wanted to say. Yeah, but it is a two-sided street. Not only are you letting people know how you feel, but there are a lot of people out there that want to work with people that feel like them. Excuse me, that are like-minded. So letting your opinions be known will let those people know that you are part of their tribe. I mean, let's be real. That's what we're doing with our lives. We spend most of our lives just trying to find our tribe. Whether it's personal, whether it's business, whether it's romantic, we're just trying to find our tribes. And if letting your opinions be known helps you with that, then let them be known. We don't live, this isn't like 1988 where all of our advertising we could easily control because it was just static. It was like print ads or newspaper ads or maybe a spot on radio or maybe you filmed a commercial for TV. So you could control your narrative, and that was all people knew of you. You know, we're on social media now. We're on a 24/7 news cycle. People want to know more because they're curious and the ability to know more is out there. And as business owners, we want to reach as many people as possible. And if opening up about our personal lives or what goes on behind the scenes will draw more people to us, then that's what we're doing. And that's why we're having the collision of personal beliefs and business. And like I said, I am in the camp of let them know who you are. You know, I appreciate that. Even if finding out who they are means that I think that they are the scum of the earth, I still appreciate knowing that because then I can make a more informed decision as to whether or not I want to deal with these people or not. And, in the end, I either find somebody that's part of my tribe or I know someone that I don't want to be in their tribe and they aren't going to be in mine. And that's fine too. So, yeah, I definitely side on the share if you feel like it and defend if necessary. And I've had to defend more than once. Hey Kelly, how are you? Oh, classroom tips from Linda. So are you a fan of Wiacha too? I love his TikToks and his YouTube videos. I can watch him all day. I'm drawing it. Yeah. So I'm trying to reach out and it's jumping. Everybody's saying hi to each other. Oh, Chris, your tribe's out there. I don't know. Maybe. Are you sure you haven't found your tribe? I mean, no. You hang out with us a lot. I owe you an email. I'll email you after this. Share if you care. I'm doing well, Kelly. Thanks. Um, I'm just giving off some quote unquote pearls of wisdom. From my. Oh, I know I didn't do my disclaimer. Let me backtrack. As long as I do the disclaimer somewhere, it counts. So, I'm not a tax attorney. I'm not a lawyer. I'm just a chick who was self-employed for 20 years. And as I was self-employed, I was a freelance writer that worked on all things small business, insurance, legal blogs, if I wrote about a whole lot of things, so I learned a whole lot of stuff, and I just figured I'd share some of that stuff with you guys who may or may not be on the path to making this crafty life a business. And remember, if you need further advice, and you will, reach out to a qualified professional, accountant, lawyer, whatever you need to get your business off the ground. Okay, got that out of the way. Hey, Joy, you were lurking and eating dinner. That's fine. I don't know what we're having for dinner. Huh. We haven't gotten that far in the thought process yet. Probably should have, because our microwave died, and now we have really no way of thawing anything quickly, and neither of us took anything out of the freezer. Maybe a pizza night. Anyway, but that's my advice. So, anybody have any questions? Anything you want to add? Want to argue with me about something? And it's fine if you disagree with me. That is perfectly okay. So let me know if you do. We can discuss it. I like sharing, but may have to fight the urge of the dopamine troll arguments. I have learned that this is how I deal with people once I realize that it's just a lost cause. I make my point. I wish them well or neutral, whatever I'm feeling like at that moment. I never wish anybody ill will, but I will wish you the karma you deserve. And then I close the conversation and I do not revisit it. Once I've said what I needed to say, I'm done. And I just walk away and I go do something else. And sometimes that means I literally have to get up and walk away from the computer. But that's what I do. I say my piece, I walk away. They can leave 15 million more comments. I don't care. I'm not going to go back and read them because I don't care anymore. I've said what I needed to say. So, as RuPaul would say, just sashay away. Once you're done, you're done. See, Chris is saying, when bipolar rears, I know I have a tendency to disappear. You know what? That's typical. And anybody that has been friends with or involved with somebody with bipolar should be used to that. Because that's a very common trait. I think every YouTuber should have a sign saying disclaimer behind them, fill in your complaint here. Yeah, I don't care. Let people complain. Like I said, not everybody's going to like me, but that's okay. I'm not trying to like everybody either. I just want my tribe. I want to vibe with my tribe. That's my whole goal. Sashay away and slay. There you go. Yep. So, any questions? I think I have said pretty much everything I needed to say on the topic. Yeah. I've gone over all of my notes, so. Right. As Crystal said, the right people will understand. You know, they may you'll disappear and they may just poke their head up and go, hey, you okay? All right, just checking. And then pop their head right back out. So, see, I actually hate the word slay, one of those things, but couldn't resist this time. It's not one of my favorite words either. It just sounds weird, but it has its, like you said, it has its purposes. So, but it's not really a word that I use on a daily basis. Okay, let's see. My chat keeps jumping. Actually, I read that already. Yep, but I figured I'd warn you all. Okay, Chris. Thanks for the warning. We'll just have to email you every once in a while and go, hey, you still out there? All right. Just checking. Perfect timing on the phone sound. Oh, you heard that? Yeah. Somebody's dying to talk to me, apparently. They can wait. Like I said, it never ceases to amaze me. I could be here all day. Phone won't ring. Nobody comes and asks me a question. Dog's perfectly quiet. I go live. Everybody shows up at the house. The dogs go insane, and my phone blows up. Just I don't know what it is, other than it's the cosmos thinking it's hysterical. But yeah. See, Crystal saying I asked last week because I can't sit down and shut up and feeling too old not to speak my mind. Well, girl, stand up, start talking, and yeah, you probably are too old to not speak your mind. You're older than like 15, right? 12, right? Oh, who am I kidding? My 8-year-old granddaughter has no problem speaking her mind. Absolutely, positively, no problem speaking truth to power, and I love it. Even when she's questioning me, and I want to pull out my hair, I'm never going to quash that, ever. Chris, I have PTSD. I disappeared to lick wounds, and I get it. How is it jumping? There's like 8 people in chat because I get chats in clumps. So like I'll sit here and I'll get like 5 or 6 comments, and they'll sit there, and then like a minute or two later I'll get more. So the chat jumps up. That's how. StreamYard is stupid. Okay. All right. So, if there aren't any questions, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I'm live on both, but I have better tools in StreamYard than I do on YouTube. And my YouTube stream can be flaky at times, and sometimes I see chat, sometimes I don't. On the back end of StreamYard, I always see my chat. So, Crystal saying, yes, I love kids like that. If I hear someone tell them to hush, I'll tell the person that is a gift. I will never tell her to hush. Nope. I would rather get a report from her teacher, what have you, saying that she certainly has her opinions. Okay, and I raised her mother the same way. Her mother was very outspoken about things, and I had several teachers say, "Well, she definitely has no problem with speaking her opinion," and I'm like, "Good, you always know where you stand. You always know where she stands." I would rather her be outspoken to be a leader than be quiet and a follower. If I had to choose between the two, be the leader. Even if it's something diabolical, even if it's something cringeworthy, and makes me just want to pull out my hair and shake my head or hang my head in shame or what have you. I'd rather you be the leader than the follower. So. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. This was fun as usual. If you're so inclined, please hit that like button. And if you are new here and you think you might enjoy my content, please hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so you'll know next time I go live when I post videos. I do Monday Management Live, obviously on Mondays at 6 p.m. Eastern. I also have a live on Wednesday, which is just general chat. Sometimes there's a topic, and most of the time we're just free. We're just free balling it. We're just talking about whatever comes up. Um, in the craft community, crochet community, YouTube community, you name it. I do lives. No, sorry, I do videos once in a while. When one appears, if you have the bell icon clicked, you'll know when one is uploaded. But other than that, you'll find me around the Yarny community in different chats and different lives during the week. And yeah, thanks for being here. You could have spent this last 50 minutes anywhere, but you chose to be here, and I deeply appreciate that. And as I've been saying, when I hit 500 subscribers, there will be a giveaway. And we're getting closer. I think I'm at 455, I think. I haven't looked lately. I'm trying to stop obsessing over my subscriber count because it just leads to stress and ulcers. And I'm doing this because I enjoy it. And although I like to add subscribers, I can't like make that my ultimate motivator because then it takes the love on out of this channel. And I'm not trying to do that because I enjoy doing lives and making periodic videos and hanging out with you guys. So, with that said, I will see y'all around in the Yarny community. And if I don't see you in some other live in the YouTube sphere, I will see you on Wednesday at 9 p.m. Did I say that? Yeah. My Wednesday live is 9 p.m. Eastern. And then, if not, then I'll see you back here for another Management Monday live next week. So, thanks for being here. Great to talk to y'all. Hope I gave you some stuff to think about, or some stuff that you didn't think about, and now you are. And enjoy the rest of your week. I'll see you later. Bye.